Ever since the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Pope Francis has made it clear he intends doing everything he can, both to stop the war and to help those who are suffering because of it. Essentially, there are three areas where the Pope and the Vatican can exert their influence and offer a response. The first is through diplomacy. The Holy See currently maintains diplomatic relations with 183 sovereign states, including Russia, which is why the Pope's first gesture the day after the invasion began was to make a surprise personal visit to the Russian embassy to the Vatican. Since then, he's used every public platform possible to denounce the war by calling it out for what it is and for what it is doing.
Non si tratta solo di un'operazione militare, ma di guerra che semina morte, distruzione e miseria.
The Vatican's diplomatic channels are headed by the Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. During a telephone conversation with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, the Cardinal called for an immediate ceasefire to facilitate humanitarian corridors for those trying to flee the fighting. But not everything is reported in the media. Further efforts to end the war are undoubtedly underway behind the scenes, ready to do, as Pope Francis himself says, whatever is necessary.
La Santa Sede è disposta a fare del tutto, a mettersi in servizio per questa pace.
The Pope's latest gesture was to send two cardinals to Ukraine, both as his personal representatives and with a specific mandate to oversee his and the Vatican's second response, distributing humanitarian aid and providing consolation and support to those who are suffering, regardless of their religious affiliation. Cardinal Konrad Krajewski heads the Office of Papal Charities. He's been helping coordinate the efforts of the Church's international charity arms like Caritas and Aid to the Church in Need, which recently donated over $1 million to provide food, shelter, and medical supplies. The prefect ad interim of the Vatican Dicastery for Integral Human Development, Cardinal Michael Czerny, is also on a mission to Ukraine. His task is to bring material help to the thousands of women and children who are refugees, but also to demonstrate the closeness of the Pope and the whole Church, what he calls a silent and unarmed army, committed to rebuilding that humanity which weapons try to destroy.
Tomorrow we'll meet people just as they're crossing the border, and then there will be other opportunities to meet people at parishes or reception centers or projects where they're being welcomed and cared for.
Welcoming and caring for people caught in the midst of the horrors of war may be an important part of the Vatican's response, but there is another still. On Ash Wednesday, at the beginning of Lent, Pope Francis called for a day of prayer and fasting for peace. He asked Cardinal Parolin to preside over a special Mass for that intention in the Vatican.
In questa giornata di preghiera e di digiuno per l'Ucraina, imploriamo da Dio quella pace che gli uomini da soli non riescono a raggiungere e a costruire.
And that's the third response to the war in Ukraine. Prayer. Not just the prayer of the Pope and of all the cardinals in the Vatican, but the prayers of each and every one of us.